3, 2, 1.
You ready?
You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, theys, and gays. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter, here. I hope you're all having a great day. I've got a interview for the latest Paul Weitz offering in Moving On, which stars the incredible Jane Fonda and, of course, Lily Tomlin, who you... I won't even go through all the stuff they've been in. You're very familiar with their work. They were recently both in 80 for Brady, which actually did really fucking well. Even though, damn Tom Brady. But they, of course, started recently back in 2015, and it ran for like 7 seasons. Grace and Frankie, which was on Netflix, which got them both multiple Golden Globe and Emmy nominations. So yeah, just kind of jumping in here. I was very curious about this movie. I did watch the trailer for it because I was just kind of curious what I, was getting a link to. And the one thing about Paul Weitz that's interesting, and this actually predates the podcast by a little bit. When he did that movie Grandma, I'm not sure how that got on my radar, but I remember watching that and just being so amazed at the gravity that Lily Tomlin brought to that movie. And the fact that, it's a abortion road trip comedy, ? But it definitely has a drama, the dramedy. It's more of a dramedy. But the fact that he was able to go ahead and make that movie with so much heart and yet really act as a cautionary tale, which ironically has not aged his age a lot better than it should have, unfortunately. I won't go on over a Republican rant, but I was really impressed with the swing that Paul took in that, because you run the risk of making light of abortion, and yet it was more of a call to action. And again, it's aged way better, unfortunately, than it has any right to. So when I got this and I looked up the trailer, I went, this looks interesting. Why does Jane Fonda's Claire want to kill Malcolm McDowell's Howard so badly? And the movie starts off with Claire and Evelyn, Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, respectively. One of their friends dies. And because of that, Claire goes, oh, Howard wronged me, so I'm going to go ahead and kill him. And Claire, Jane Fonda being the G she is, being a real one, she walks right up to Malcolm McDowell and goes, I'm going to kill you. She's not mincing words. She's not being funny. She is dead fucking serious. So then the big mystery becomes, why does she want to kill him? Why does Claire want to kill Howard? And I won't spoil it, but once you find out why she wants to kill him, it makes a fuck ton of amount of sense, to a point that I went, this is going to be what turns people off. And I think it's very similar to that movie Grandma, where I do believe that the subject matter of abortion, that just might be too much for people to actually go ahead and want to face that issue head on, which is fucked up, because not everything that is going to entertain you is going to make you feel comfortable. And I think that's something that people really kind of need to get over themselves. I bring up the promising young woman example a lot, I mean, as a guy, it's like, oh gosh, how many times have I potentially made women feel uncomfortable? That's, looking inward, that shit sucks. But what Howard did, there's no fucking excuse. There's none whatsoever. And I appreciate that the film very much puts the microscope on him. And when you realize what he did, you go, yep, fuck this guy. And when Howard shows who he really is, and you get little pockets of him kind of going off and exploding, you realize that this is just a terrible fucking person. And it's really interesting the way that Paul goes ahead and peels those layers back slowly but surely over the just under 90-minute runtime. I've talked about Lily Tomlin. I've talked about Claire. Lily Tomlin's Evelyn and Jane Fonda's Claire. I gotta shout out Richard Roundtree, Shaft himself, who plays Ralph, and he is the ex of Claire. And Richard Roundtree, you know, I just outside of Shaft alone, the man's just so naturally charming, and that natural charisma, it's like he hasn't missed a beat. It's crazy to think about that throughout all their years of acting, that Jane Fonda and Richard Roundtree have never acted together, which is nuts, because I definitely went through and researched that, because I went, really? For as long as they've both been in the game, they've never acted alongside each other? And no, never have. And there's this moment where Ralph is talking to Claire, and they reconnect. And the way that Richard Roundtree just delivers the line, "It's so good to see you, Claire." There's such an earnestness to the way he delivers that line. And there's a chemistry between Roundtree and Fonda that I immediately went, can we get a rom-com of the two of them? Or like a buddy, like a road trip movie? Like, I would love to see them interact more. They're amazing together. And whenever they're on screen together, it's fucking electric. It's funny. It's charming. Quite frankly, it's delightful. And it's a very necessary little blip of happiness in what is otherwise a pretty shockingly dark movie when you kind of get down to it. I talked about it a little earlier, but the Grace and Frankie, that chemistry, it's still totally here, because we get Jane Fonda and fucking Lily Tomlin acting alongside each other. There's a point where they go to this gun store, and that scene in particular I thought was really fucking funny. And the way that Claire ends up getting a gun, it's such a weird way that she comes about getting this gun, getting this firearm, but it leads to a really cool moment. And what I'll simply say is that there's a little boy in this movie, and the way that their subplot is handled is something I went, yeah, I love that this is in here. And again, it will be something that will piss a certain section of the population off. But when I saw that, I went, okay, I think I know where they're going with this. And where that kid's arc ends up, I went, oh, I love that this is in here. I don't think it's a spoiler to mention this, so I'll mention one other thing here. Claire and Ralph, formerly being married in the film, there's this amazing point where Ralph kind of puts her feet to the fire and goes, what happened with us? You know, we were married, we were happy. What happened? And Claire talks about the fact that what happened with Howard, that took away her ability to see anything good in her life, including Ralph, and how it cut off all the things that she loved about life, and it made her it made it difficult for her to trust people. And again, when you figure out what happens, it's one of those things where you go, fuck, she's been holding on to this pain for so long. And again, no one is saying that anyone who went through what she went through wouldn't have every fucking reason to be as angry and hurt and pissed off as Claire is. But you feel the sadness from Ralph, because you can tell he loves Claire. Not love Claire, loves Claire. And the way that their relationship plays out as far as through their healing is something I thought was just absolutely beautiful. Evelyn herself, even though I haven't talked about her too much, she's going through her own shit. She is a former musician. She plays the cello, if memory serves correctly, and she has her own frustrations about, you know, getting older and not being able to play the cello like she used to. And that's fucking heartbreaking, because, you know, that's one of the things that gave her peace. And so while she's not going through the same situation that Claire is, Evelyn is facing her own demons in that right as well. And the way that they do connect after the funeral, it is really cool just to see them play off each other. I believe that you could give them just nothing. You don't even need to give them a script, and they're pros. They would just find a way to go ahead and make this fun and charming. Yeah, it's really cool just to see them on screen together, as it always is. But as I mentioned earlier, I really do believe that the subject matter is going to turn some people off. But I would really encourage you, if you're watching this, to give this movie a chance. Like, I think if you don't watch the trailer, I would actually recommend not watching the trailer. The trailer does a pretty good job of not giving too much away. But I think the colder you go in, the more receptive people are going to be to this. So I would really encourage people to watch this. I think this movie is a lot of is pretty funny. I think it's actually quite charming, just again because of the relationship of Ralph and Claire. Off that alone, it's absolutely charming. There's a moment. You know what? That's too much of a spoiler. I will simply say where this movie ends up. I was like, wow, I love where this ended up. Like, I actually love where the movie ended up. And it's done in a way that I went, that's going to lead to some discussion. Like, I really like this. So, this is something I would definitely buy for sure on Black Friday. This is like a $10 purchase for me. I'd be like, oh yeah, this is $10. Hell yeah, I'll buy this. But if I saw this in a theater, even at full price, I'd be like, you know what? Okay, like I wouldn't be mad paying full price for this. So I'm gonna kind of split the difference. I'm gonna give this a B+. I really enjoyed this. Again, I encourage you to go in as cold as possible with this movie, because I really do think that the less you know, the more you'll enjoy it. But I was really happy to see Richard Roundtree and Tomlin and Fonda and McDowell really go ahead and flex their comedic and dramatic muscles. It was something that I was like, yeah, I'm really digging this. So definitely check this out. Like I said, it's under 90 minutes, it's like 85 minutes. It's a quick watch, but it's something that I think that you'll enjoy. So yeah, check out Moving On. I think it's good stuff. But everyone, have you seen this? Let us know what you thought about it in the comments. You can follow yours truly on the Twitter at The Real Pineapple. You can go ahead and follow me on Instagram at JHunterRealPineapple. That's REEL Pineapple. Don't forget to like both our pages on Facebook at The Real Pineapple and Real Pineapple Games. That again is REEL Pineapple. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, rate the podcast. It definitely helps us out. You can find us on SoundCloud, Apple, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, TuneUp, and Samsung Podcasts at The Real Pineapple. And you can go ahead and follow me on follow all of our stuff at Linktree. So that's linktr.ee/JHunterRealPineapple. You can follow me on Twitch, pardon me, at twitch.tv/JHunterRealPineapple. You can follow me on TikTok at BlackShazam775, and you can follow me on Letterboxd at BlackShazam. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. We'll have more reviews come up here soon, including a review for this really cool indie film that I watched called Balloon Animal. And I've actually got a review, interview, with the star of that film, and Catherine Wadle, and the writer and director of that film, M. Johnson. I'm really excited to bring that one to y'all. That'll be coming out here in April. But in the meantime, I'll have reviews up for 65, Creed 3, and John Wick Chapter 4 coming up here next week, weekend of the 24th. I'm so excited to talk about that, as well as a review for Shazam! Fury of the Gods, which comes out this weekend. Will it matter in 18 months? Who knows? But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Stay safe out there. Take care of each other, and we'll talk to you soon.